Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Author Hangout, live stream for kids who just want a little bit of bookish fun. You know, it's holidays time. Some kids are stuck at their place and they're looking for something to do. So why not sit back and relax and enjoy a few minutes with us on the Author Hangout. We've got an awesome guest coming up, so let's get into the show. Yes, as I said, it's the Author Hangout, and it's really, really exciting because all through the week we are being joined by some amazing creators, and they all happen to be creators behind some incredible YABBA nominated books. And today is no exception. We've got a good friend of mine who's beaming in all the way from, I believe, somewhere in sunny Byron Bay. Let's find out. It's Tristan Bancks himself. Tristan, are you there?
Hey, how you doing?
How you going, mate? You good?
Very well. Adrian has a habit of doing horrible things to me. I'm hoping that today will be an exception. And what sort of things have you done to me? You almost made me jump off a 10-meter diving board at the Melbourne Aquatic Centre when my book The Fall came out. He thought it might be really funny if I fell off something really high. And then I believe around one of the Tom Weekly book releases, we pranked someone in a bookshop in the little book room.
We did. We're in the little book room. We pranked a whole bunch of kids, actually. Yeah, you were dressed up as a very strange bookseller, actually. Yes, that's right. Yeah, that was good fun.
I had a beer gut and I had like long hair down here. Yep. And then recently, Adrian pranked me again. So I'm really hoping that this might be the first time I've ever had any interaction with Adrian Beck in which I don't come off really badly.
Oh, look, my reputation precedes me, but it's no, Tristan, it's going to be fine, except we do have our boredom buster challenge today is pretty amazing. So you want to stick in for that because it's sort of knit themed, because that will all make sense soon, because Tristan has come up with some amazing knit themed books. In fact, let me show you this one. This is awesome. This is Nit Boy. Okay, so this is Tristan's latest book, and it's all about a kid called Lewis who has, I would say, probably the most knits out of anyone I've ever heard of, and he'll talk to us a little bit about that. So we've got a knit-themed challenge as a boredom buster to finish off the show, which could get a little messy. So kids, mums and dads, parents, uncles, aunties, whoever, if you've got kids nearby, make sure you plonk them down in front of this feed and watch this live stream, because it's going to get really fun. And in fact, it's already really fun, because we're going to learn a little bit about Tristan. So Tristan, for those that may, and there wouldn't be many, but those that may not be sure of who they're dealing with here, this superstar author that you are, could you give us a little bit of a spiel about Tristan Bancks?
Well, I write books. I seem to read the right kind of weird, kind of funny stuff like the Tom Weekly series, which is a kid who's basically me. And I use things that actually happened to me when I was a kid, getting attacked by magpies and, trying to pretend I was sick to get days off school, and then it turning really bad and having body parts removed. And then Nit Boy on the funny end. Then I seem to write things like Detention and Two Wolves in the Fall. And Two Wolves in the Fall, I'm very proud to say, YABBA winners. And it's a big deal for an author to have a book that wins a YABBA award, because kids vote for it. So I like the idea. When I'm writing, I'm definitely writing for the kid reader, and I'm writing for me when I was like 12, 13 years old, I reckon.
Yeah, it is a big deal with the being nominated for YABBAs, these books. So that's fantastic. In fact, as you said, we've got Detention, which is one of your most recent books, and that was nominated in the Fiction for Years 7 to 9. So the YABBA, of course, for those that aren't sure, those kids that are tuning in aren't quite sure what we're talking about, YABBA is the Young Australians Best Book Award. So kids get to choose their favourite books. So they start by the nominating, and we're currently in the reading phase. And so these are all the books that hopefully the kids might pick up. So you're in some fine company here. I can see Jane Godwin's there, and she's going to be joining us on Thursday, which is pretty exciting. But there's all sorts of different people there, including obviously Tristan Bancks, who's written Detention. So Tristan, can you tell us a little bit about what is Detention all about?
It is about a kid who escapes from an immigration detention centre early one morning and her family are escaping with her, but the escape goes wrong and an alarm goes off and there are smoke bombs, there are people tackled to the ground, and Seema manages to get away. And her father told her to just keep running. So she does. She gets over the motorway. She gets into the bush. She hides out in a local school, and the school goes into lockdown because of this escape from the immigration detention center. And during the lockdown in the school, a kid called Dan finds Seema hiding in the school, and he has to decide whether he's going to dob her in and have her sent back into immigration detention center, possibly even back to Afghanistan with her family, or if he's going to try to help her get away. And Seema has to decide whether she can trust him, and she has good reason not to trust people with a few of the things that have happened to her. So big story, and I really wanted to tell it, and I really had to back myself and trust that I could, and probably work twice as hard as I have on any of my books in order to do the research and make sure it was done well.
Yeah. Well, it's obviously the kids have approved of what you've come up with. They've loved what you've come up with. And those that haven't, please do check it out, because obviously to get a YABBA nomination, it has to be top notch. So well done, Tristan. That's awesome. And also as part of YABBA, what I'm lucky enough to be involved in YABBA, and what we're doing is we're doing these things called the virtual author programs, and they're in partnership with the Department of Education and Training. And what we do is we talk to authors like Tristan about their process and the inspiration. Now, we're having a bit of a chat today, but normally when we do the VAPs, as we call them, the VAPs, we get into all the specifics about how you came up with all the books. And you talked to us a little bit about Detention and Nit Boy when we had a VAP with you recently, which was great fun. There's more coming up throughout the year. So, in fact, check the YABBA website for all the details on the VAPs to see if you could get involved. And there's also some VAPs that are going to be posted, which you can check out as well. If some of your favorite authors might pop up there, and you can find out how they do what they do, which is pretty cool. So make sure you check that out. And after we had our VAP with you, Tristan, you did a special, what is this would you rather sort of question you like to ask kids when you do presentations?
I have in all the Tom Weekly books, I have would you rather questions, and maybe I can quickly whip one up for you. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Would you rather, what's a good one for you? Would you rather get a tattoo of an emu on your forehead or a tattoo of your worst enemy on your bum? So basically a tattoo of me on your bum.
I think it's a good place to have your worst enemy, to be honest. I think I'd have to go for that one.
Really, but imagine every morning in your shower and you look down to the tattoo of me looking up at you. I mean, that would be terrible.
Well, I can't quite
mean you any day. I would never get you tattooed on my bum.
I could pretend you're not there, I think. So I think that's what I'll go with. What would you go with?
Definitely the emu. I'd get a large emu right in the middle rather than have you tattooed down there.
I'd love to see that, actually. I think that would suit you. So that's a good option for you. Well chosen.
So when we did the VAP, though, you were very concerned about one of my questions, weren't you?
I was. One of your questions was a tricky one. It was regarding would you rather put thumbtacks under your toenail and kick a wall, or there was something else.
Cuts all over your body and dive into a pool of lemon juice.
Yeah, and I thought, wow, Tristan doesn't mind pushing the boundaries. He loves it. So
very strong language, Tristan. Are you sure you want to do that? And I was like, yeah, it'll be fine. I've asked thousands of kids in hundreds of schools and they think it's funny. And I was like, yeah, we're definitely doing it. And you said, oh, well, okay, then I guess so.
I am a total wowzer. That's right. But off the back of that, I thought, you know what? I might give Tristan a call. And this is did you say earlier that I've pranked you recently? This is a little bit of a prank that I played on Tristan straight after we did the virtual author program.
You don't. Hey mate, how are you?
G'day mate, how you going?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, I just wanted to cover off on something. You know how we did that virtual chat to all those schools recently, which was really successful and a lot of good feedback. But there's just one little issue that I wanted to raise with you. A kid named Bo Wilson was watching, and you know that bit where you were talking about putting a thumbtack. What was it?
Under your toenail and kicking a concrete wall.
Yeah. Okay. So this kid, apparently, according to according to the emails we've received. He actually tried it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And apparently he hurt himself.
Oh, really?
We're wondering if you could perhaps do like a cheerio to Bo.
I mean, I could just say, look, sorry that I, mentioned this thing. It was a fictional thing. It wasn't something that was supposed to be tried. But I'm really sorry that you tried it. You hurt yourself. Don't try any other would you rather's, okay? They're not meant to be tried in real life or something.
Apparently, he's a bit of a poetry fan. So I don't know whether you'd want to do a little limerick about it. I don't know.
A poetry fan.
Does anything come to mind that you could say to him?
No. Dear little Bo, sorry about your toe. Poetry's not really my area.
It got pretty serious, actually. They had to cut the toe off, and I've got it here for you. I wonder if you could sign it for us.
Are you lying about the whole thing?
Yes, I am. I'm sorry, Tristan. I'm lying about the whole thing. I've set you up.
At any point, did you think this is a bit weird?
I mean, every time I speak to you, I think it's a bit weird. But I guess that's another thing entirely. But so, yeah, well, I was thinking, no, I totally fell for it until the point when you said that what did you say, that I had to bite off his toe, or what was the thing that actually triggered it?
No.
Oh, he his toe, that he had it amputated. And I think that was the moment that I thought. And then you had that weird piece of apple, which was like square on the sides, floating in. I don't even want to think about what it was floating in. I hope it was apple juice.
It was definitely apple juice, yes.
Very good. I thought it might be
to come up with. And clearly I was in lockdown. I had quite a beard and quite a lot of hair going. So, that was a bit of a glimpse into my lockdown life. But, so Tristan, look, you're a good sport. Thank you for playing.
I didn't have any choice in the matter. I'm not a good sport at all. I just for it. And now you seem to be plastering it all over the internet on the Words and Nerds podcast, and now this.
I can't help myself. It's it's great. It's great to see you squirm a little bit, but you handled it very well, and you are a good sport after the fact. Now, Tristan, I want to talk to you about. I want to give the kids a chance to talk to you because when I announced all the authors that were coming on the author hangout this time round, we got quite a few questions. So I'm going to get a question from a super fan about your process and how you write and all that sort of stuff. So let me grab that. And
are you my super fan?
Yeah, I am your super fan. You're right. But this is another super fan. So I'm not sure if it's about your book Detention that we saw earlier, or whether it's about the new one, Nit Boy. But let's find out. Here we go. Okay. So, dear Tristo, you're a ledge, dude. Detention was sweet, but your funny stuff like Nit Boy is A+++. I also loved your Tom Weekly books, although it confused me that they didn't actually get released weekly. My question is, will Nit Boy and Tom Weekly ever star together in a new book? From Jade, aged 8. Tristan.
I'm suspicious that you wrote that. I'm suspicious that you are Jade. Are you? Is that
No, I am not. That Jade is a real super fan of Tristan.
All right, I'll go with it, mate. It's just anything you say now. I'm always just on that little bit of alert to see if it's a lie.
I understand.
Are you saying will Tom Weekly and Nit Boy star in the same in the similar book? Is that what Jade asked?
In a new book, or have they? I'll broaden it out. Have they starred together at any point?
Interestingly, Nit Boy actually came out as 2 books. You can see there it says 2 books in one. It came out as 2 books in 2009. It was one of the first books I'd ever released. It was with a small publisher who really gave me my start in publishing, Laguna Bay Publishing, and came out. And then I started working on the Tom Weekly books, and I've actually brought Lewis Snow over into the Tom Weekly book. So in quite a few of the books, there's a story about nits kind of getting this sort of solution on them where the nits start to grow and on his head. So they go from the size of like ants to the size of spiders to the size of crabs, and they start to go, and they come off his head and they start to take over the entire town. And so Lewis Snow, in I think 3 stories in the Tom Weekly books, Lewis Snow moves to Tom Weekly's town, to his school, and they become good friends and they have adventures in knits together. They sell knits sometime too for a profit in the school playground so that kids can have a day off school. So anyway, they already have starred together in the Tom Weekly books, but maybe I should do another book with the 2 of them together.
Absolutely, I think that'd be awesome. But so, in some ways, Nit Boy is a little bit like a prequel, because Lewis hasn't met Tom yet. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. He hasn't met Tom. Yeah, it's like I'm starting the kind of knit universe, the sort of super knit universe.
You are. For those that aren't sure, what could you write a book about? All about knits. The kids might be thinking, what is this all about? How can this guy be called Nit Boy? How does it all work? Well, let me show you this amazing trailer that you've put together. Let me show the kids this amazing trailer you've put together, which sort of explains Nit Boy a little bit further.
This is Lewis Snow. This is Ned. They have something in common. They share a head. Lewis likes having knits, though. He sees them as pets. But when jumping knits take over the school, and even the town, somebody has to go down. Nit Boy. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll itch.
That is the Nit Boy trailer, which is very cool. Was that put together by an animation company, Tristan?
It was, yeah, based on Heath Mackenzie's illustrations, and then a great animator, Peter Leary, based in Victoria, created the 3D models for Nit Boy and developed it into that animated trailer. Yeah, I just wrote the script and did the voiceover, and who's this?
I got a little friend, a crew member has popped in front of the camera, which is always exciting. But yes, they love Nit Boy, so they probably were just wanting to get involved. But yeah, sorry, continue.
Do you use such young staff because they're less expensive, or?
Yeah, absolutely, of course. So Nit Boy is told we've got Ned, who's the knit, on Lewis's head, and then Lewis had his own story happening, and Ned had his own story happening. So it's almost like 2 stories at one go, really.
Exactly. It's sort of part told from Ned's point of view and part from Lewis's point of view. And everything that happens to Lewis, like his mum putting crazy knit solutions on his head, that has a direct effect on Ned's world. And then Ned does things too that have a direct effect on Lewis's world, like when jumping knits take off from Lewis's head and land on the deputy principal's hair. So, yeah, it's kind of nice. I like that moving between the 2. I did that in Detention too, but not with head lice.
Yeah, well, it's probably a slightly different story, isn't it? Detention. It'd be a bit odd for the knits to be involved in that story, but it could be a mashup. Who knows? But yeah, okay. So, did you have like real knit problems when you were a kid? Like, why did you want to write books about knits?
Well, the book starts off with the deputy principal picking through their hair, and the kids are lined up, and it's called the knit line. And every Monday morning, under the fig tree in the middle of the playground, they have to have their hair checked for knits. And the deputy principal uses a razor-sharp lead pencil, and occasionally she stabs them. And this used to happen to us too in primary school. That sharp pencil, scraping through your hair. And I don't remember having knits often. I think I might have had them once or twice, but I do have really strong memories of like KP24, that disgusting knit solution on your hair that stinks. And anyway, it was And I poured all of that into the story, as well as having interesting conversations with kids in schools about their knit adventures.
Yeah, that'd be really interesting, I'm sure. Hey, did you ever? You use that special KP, whatever it's called, that brand. Yeah. Did you ever use anything sort of homemade to try and cure the knits?
Well, having the conversations with kids in schools, I've always asked them, what are some of the weird things that your parents reach for around the house when they're desperate and you've got thousands of knits and they just want to get rid of them, and they'll come up with, did a hand just come up from below your desk?
Yes, it did. Yes, it's like, so appreciate that.
So yeah, and kids use some of the things they've suggested are peanut butter, orange juice, mayonnaise. One parent used wasabi, the green stuff you put on sushi. There were and kerosene. If you live in the country, quite often they'll use kerosene as a yeah. Hope there's not a blackout. You're not using a candle. It was.
I've heard of like really sticky, like honey and shaving cream and things like that. Have you heard anything like that?
Yeah. I think honey. You should all try that. Everyone watching, put the whole thing. No, don't put honey in your hair. Really. But honey would be funny though.
It would. All right. Well, Nit Boy is fantastic. We've started it. My little assistants who are popping in and out of shot have started reading it. Would you give it a big thumbs up? Do you reckon it's worth a big thumbs up? Well, we're not sure. Do you want to give it a big thumbs up or no?
Ask that question.
Thumbs up right there. There's a thumbs up right there.
All right. Nice.
So that's an endorsement. Now, I think my assistants have crept in. Oh, there's another thumbs up. I'm not sure if you can see the second thumbs up, but my assistants have crept in because they're pretty sure that the Boredom Buster segment is our last and a very exciting segment. So why don't we get to it? Tristan, you ready to go?
Okay, let's do it.
Here we go.
Boredom Buster.
Okay, today's Boredom Buster. Now, it's always slightly related to our guest and the books that our guests have created. I can see what my assistants have got planned here, and it's going to fall off the rails really quick. But basically, I thought we would do a special game that I've come up with, which I've only played once before with Chris Kennett and Nova Wheatman, called Oh My Word. Okay, and so it's pretty much a wordplay game. So it goes between the two of us, and we've got 30 seconds, and I have to come up with a word, a 4-letter word, and then you change one letter and come up with the next 4-letter word. And it's the person that gets stuck at the end of 30 seconds who loses. Okay. So do you think you'd be okay at that sort of game, Tristan?
I'll give it a shot.
Great. So I thought that, the game in itself is fantastic. And the loser says, oh, my word, at the end of it. And my daughter loves it, clearly. So I'm thinking, oh, well, I've got a great idea for the first word. Okay, well, we can have a game afterwards. How about that? Okay, good. So, oh my word is going to be knit themed, and the loser has to grab something nearby and use it as a instant knit cure. So, some sort of knit treatment. Have you got anything nearby that perhaps you could use to squish on your head? Because I feel like I'm going to win this one.
Adrian did give me a slight heads up on this one, which is why I just happened to have
Vegemite.
Right? No. Vegemite pretty good.
Yeah.
And I also, if the Vegemite's not good enough, I thought so I'm prepared to use Vegemite or mayonnaise, or mustard as a knit cure for myself if I lose this game. That's how confident I am that I'm going to crush you.
And you're going to do that on camera. I like it. If I lose, my assistants have got, what have they found for me? They've got, some maple syrup. Oh, that's a bit like honey, so that might do the trick.
I'm going to put it on Daddy's head.
Oh, right. And what's this? Some shaving cream. Okay, so look, we probably won't need any of that because I feel like I'm going to win this. Now, the tricky part with this is where to put it. Okay, so I'm going to put it here. All right, so I reckon that's not the right word. That's not the right texter. So I'm going to use this texter. So I'm going to start, and we're going to do 30 seconds. So my assistants are here because they can do the countdown.
You're giving a insight into daycare, home lockdown,
and when remote learning starts next week, it's going to be even better. Okay, so let's get to the stopwatch here, and I want you to tell me when it gets to 30 seconds. Okay. All right.
What's 30 seconds?
3-0. Maybe your big sister can help you a little bit. 3-0. Okay, here we go, and we're going to start with the word. I'm going to start with knits. We're away, Tristan.
Just change
one letter.
What's that?
One letter.
Okay. Bits.
Bits. Okay. Tristan goes with bits. I'm going to go with pits.
Okay.
Dad, that's so unfair. Look.
I'm going to go with
2 letters.
Oh, right. Okay, Tristan, your turn.
I'm going with pins.
Pins. We're going to
Yep.
get. How far are we away? Oh, what? It's finished.
Yeah.
Are you serious? So does that mean that? So what? So who gave? I said
30
pins.
seconds.
I
Let's
said
do it.
pins.
30 seconds,
Another
all right?
30 seconds. Good idea. Yeah,
Okay.
because I'm pretty sure I won that one. Okay,
Okay.
here we go. You can choose the word, Tristan.
Okay. Well, let's keep going with pins.
Let's go.
I'm-
All right. Good.
Okay, on your mark.
Okay.
Get set.
So, go.
Oh, do I go now?
Yeah, you go.
That was that mama.
What about
That
pine?
was that mama.
Pine. Oh, that's a good one.
That was that mama.
That's an old lady saying, "Oh my word." I'm going to go with fine. I'm going to go with fine because
Okay.
this is a mighty fine segment.
Good file.
File. Oh, nice. I'm going to go with film.
Ooh.
Are we close? How long have we got to go? 3 seconds.
I'm gonna go with Phil. I don't know. I think I lose. No,
Tristan has lost.
no. This
We still put make a zero on your hand. We get to put make a zero.
Well, I won.
Yeah, but still we won.
Hang on, Tristan. Hang on a second. Tristan's.
because we both I won the first one and you won the second one. Maybe we need to do it.
Okay. All right. That's fair. We both have to have a homemade knit cure to finish off the show. Is that fair? I don't know if that's fair. No. Okay, Tristan. Let's let Tristan go first.
I'm gonna go with the old mustard.
Should we do it at the same time?
Okay, you ready?
Okay. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh. 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 Fantastic. Yeah. Oh, that's enough. Thank you, assistant. That's wonderful. Let's thank you. Let's have a closer look at. Oh, I can't even touch my computer because I've got maple syrup all over my fingers. Let's have a closer look at Tristan. Tristan, how did you go there? Oh,
I went quite well. I feel like my knits are proceeding already.
yeah, I think you're cured there. That's good. That's good. Let's have a closer look at how I'm going. I've got a lot of knits on my shirt to get rid of, which is good that they're gone too. So that's nice. Tristan, we better get out of here because it's descending into chaos. But thank you so much for joining us. You're a star.
Keep getting them, girls.
Oh, that's cold down the neck. Thank you for joining us, Tristan. You're a legend. And well done on your YABBA nomination. And everyone check out Nit Boy. And we'll see you next time on Author Hangout. Thanks, Tristan.
Thank you, mate.
Bye.
Get him really well.
Got to get to the button. Goodbye, everyone. It's over.